morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, everything's working again. Just truly But yay! Ah ha ha ha! I have defeated the scuff. I am no longer part of the bad luck club with Ludmilla and Summer. Yeah, I think. Wait, let me check this out real quick. Yeah. Woo! At least I think I shouldn't be in their club anymore, I hope. And if I am, oopsies, my bad. Yay! Okay, thank goodness it's better now. Ooh, if it wasn't. I think I'd have to fight something. I'd be like, oi. Oi, excuse you. Okay, that's fantastic. But yeah. Okay. I just had to check something out real quick because for some reason the sensitivity was really, really weird. Actually, wait. Testing. Okay, yep, that's good. So now for PV7. Curtains lifted. I was gonna say curfews lifted, but there's no curfews here. It's only curtains. Ta-da! Tisk. We got here too late. They finished their fight and now there's no one alive to talk to.
You stopped your duel just to watch a boring shootout.
Woman and wolf stand in the barrenlands as the sun rises, with a yellow cab parked not far from them. IS-5-4. An enemy that forces you to heal the enemy so that you won't burst damage you. Ugh. Having to heal them too? The cab's hood bears a deep depression from a prior intimate meeting with a boulder. Tire tracks twist and turn in its wake, peppered with strewn-up dirt, narrating the car's journey here. Several bodies lie around the car. The wind carries a stench of blood far away, inciting low growls from the wild beasts in the distance. Zaro, there are two things you ought to understand. 1, I am not a toy for your entertainment. 2, as my toy for my entertainment. I realize an immortal Signor de Lupi is just so boring. Compared to you, isn't a familiar shootout happening in the middle of the waste much more interesting? I like that, Zaro. Zaro, old man, you're boring. The car can still move even after all that.
Where was its original destination?
Let's see. A spot circled on the map. Nuovo Volsini. And some entry documents in the glove box to boot. Looks like we're all set. Oh, so this is how she got the car originally.
A familiar name.
Hey, Zaro. Help me drag these corpses aside so I can reverse the car.
You want to?
Syracusa has graced us with an invitation. Don't tell me you refuse. I didn't think a Signor de Lupi would be so rude.
I told you. I will walk with you until victor's decided.
Then help me out. Yeah, Zaro, be useful. Take out the dead bodies. Part 4, the taxi driver. Yay! October 25th, 9 p.m.
Salve. You don't have to be so formal, Signor Capone. Relax. I just don't want to spook you with a scary mug of mine. After all, it wasn't easy to secure this meetup with you. I thought a lot about your proposal. If City Hall staff discover I privately transferred my citizen points to you, will they... Just pick up a few documents from your pile of certs. Write a little explanation and change the name on them. Simple. I'll earn 50 points while you get a lot of dough. We ain't violating no laws here. If a city hall got a problem, it just means the new Urban Management Act needs more revisions. I bet you know this better than me.
True, Zaro does have the first place as the greatest loser. No, that's still part of his status.
When you put it like that, identity registration's awful unfair, ain't it? I turned over a new leaf, paid so much guarantee money in the past 6 months, and did so much community service, all thanks to my criminal record. All that work, and I still haven't earned even half of the 120 points I need. But you, a clean resume, and experience in law-adjacent tech industries. You're pretty new here, but the points you converted from all that's already enough to become a citizen 3 times over. It'd be a waste to keep them for yourself. Alright. I applied for an appointment next week to get my documents authenticated. I'll get these revisions done before that. Easy, pal. Huh? Aren't you the one wanting to become a citizen ASAP? What I mean is, have you ever thought about putting off your citizenship application? What do you mean? A lot of us guys in the city could use a lot more points, but there ain't many guys like you who can get them so easy, so... I'm happy to play middleman. Nova Wilsini introduced the new Urban Management Act to deter people like you. Sorry. I mean, aren't we contracting the city's founding principles by doing this? Come on, pal. Relax. Relax. I was just thinking out loud is all. Don't mind me. But noodle on it a bit. Why'd you come here? A stable income? A better life? You think you'll get that after you become a legal citizen of Nova Wilsini and work an entry-level job at a law firm?
He's like, maybe. Potentially. Claps.
Are you going to stay here and watch them all night, Lapland?
Why the rush? How can we start our night shift before getting some food? Want a slice of this freshly baked polenta? On second thought, let's not waste it.
You're in a good mood. Just because you witnessed that strange deal happen.
Zaro, how long have we been here in Nova Volsini?
More than 2 months.
And how many places have we been in that span of time? How many customers have we ferried? Isn't it uncomfortable seeing everyone in the city act so prim and proper? The city hall staff and court judges are itching to slap their laws on their foreheads, ready to fight against Syracuse's old customs and rules at any moment. While the familiar are trying their best to prove how much they like and have adapted to its new set of game rules, I've never seen Syracuse's this restrained, this uncomfortable, like everyone has a mask sewn onto their faces. It'll be Carnivale soon. Are they even in the mood to enjoy this so-called carnival? I'm thankful for our 2 friends here worrying over their citizen points, for showing me Syracuse remains the same, and it's in every Syracusean's nature to turn every new territory into a swamp. Haha, now, I'm looking forward to Carnivale. Hey, are you even listening?
I smell their scent.
Your compatriots, the other Signore De Lupi? No plans to catch up with them?
A Signor De Lupi, who has left the game, should no longer interfere.
Don't look so defeated, Zaro. He did lose, but it doesn't mean you can't derive any more fun from it. Think about it. What else can you do? Free yourself. We return to the swamp for a leisurely swim.
Ha! And you? What are you planning to do? When are you planning to say hello to your past?
Carissimo Padre Mio, you mean? Lapland do what Lapland wanna do. Though, just based on how, all the stuff she's done, I feel like she won't die with a bang, like something crazy. It's gonna be something, totally silly or normal. Just because all the crazy stuff can't kill her. I already said adio, though I did prepare a gift for him this time. The cab driver stops talking and lifts her legs onto the dashboard to rest in a more comfortable position. Through the car window ahead is a wall sporting a huge billboard advertising a winery. A sullen-looking man with his tightly knit brows brandishes a wine glass towards the camera with the following invitation. Saluzzo Vino is looking for a senior legal advisor. Several other positions are also open. Apply to join us today. Saluzzo Vino, should we apply?
Don Alberto, we got all the information here. Please have a look. We have a total of 13 wineries in the city. 6 of them are undergoing a qualification audit and cannot operate for the time being. 2 of them on the city's outer plates are about to welcome their first harvest, and the warehouse lab and bottling line are ready. But there's no way we can handle this many ripened grapes in this short period of time, with half of our wineries not operating. The root of our problems lies with the City Hall's attitude towards us. Those Stronzi are obviously targeting us on purpose. These files are meant for our friend here. He has the means of solving such problems.
Alberto looks across the table, where a red-headed lupo has been sitting for a while. The wine is finally decanted, and he takes a sip, calmly returning Alberto's gaze.
Merge and restructure all Saluzzo properties in the city into new entities, including both the operating ones and those undergoing an audit. Then hire non-stakeholder employees to manage on-site operations. This is feasible under the new Urban Management Act. Simply put, I will transfer these properties to you. Familia Bellone does not have large-scale businesses, so the procedure should be relatively simple. Yet you've been rejected more than 10 times now. Whenever it involves a Bellone or Saluzzo, the government and court, or should I say, Leontuzo and Lavinia, always tend to react in a more defensive manner. It sounds like I have no reason to refuse this arrangement. Dimitri, what I value more is that you understand Leontuzo better than anyone else, as well as the rules he has set. You're the best fit for this position.
Hey, hello.
I want to see if City Hall will still brazenly clamp down on us, even after we tie our companies together in a total compliance with the new Urban Management Act. Don't you agree, our new Don Bellone? Don't treat me like your puppet, Alberto. I admit, Bellone's company registration has met many bumps on the road, and your invitation was timely. You get rid of some troubles while I gain the rights to legally enter the city. We're just business partners, getting what we want. Even though the Bellones are not what they used to be in Syracuse anymore, even though this new city doesn't have Familia anymore, you need to know this. My choice to work for Saluzzo Vino does not in any way mean the Bellones will be the Saluzzo's beck and call. So you best put that title to rest. I'm not sitting here as a Don of Familia Bellone. There's no point in acting tough, Ragazzo. Whether or not this collaboration will mean the Bellones have thrown themselves at the Saluzzos, I'm curious how Leontuzo will see it. Oh, almost forgot. Maybe he doesn't even care at all anymore. He already abandoned you. If you insist on this topic, aren't you a lone wolf too, Alberto?
I like that. I like how Alberto's like, well, your boy Leon, he abandoned you. He went out for milk and never returned. It's like, well, takes them to no one.
The White Wolf of Saluzzo, your daughter, who always disobeyed your orders, has left your familia forever. According to my sources, she arrived in Nuovo Bolsini a few months ago as a cab driver. I'm curious too, did she come here to add insult to your injury, or will she return home and help the Saluzzos? Lapland?
It's like, what? My daughter has come back as a taxi driver? Just, No! This time I can properly write stuff. My brain is awake. My brain is alert. My brain is in pain, so I can type... I was gonna say, I can type letters. I can type numbers.
I banished her. From what I know about her, she's probably thinking that's not how it went down. I won't take offense from you, Dimitri. You are different from Bernardo. You understand what's going on. These harmless differences will not affect our shared interests, so why not take this as a happy start to our collaboration? Fine. I won't waste my breath then. Why don't you sign this empty document first, Signor Alberto? I'll use the dividends from this month to get Leon to reminisce about the good old days.
Ah, yeah, the good old days. And then, oops. November 5th, 10:45 p.m. When looking for your fellow floating heads.
I did. A hypocritical and sly wolf. Caesar has turned her Fang into an idiot who only knows how to bite people and suck blood. She won't be able to find Vargo's Fang, even if she sniffed every single corner of this land. That Fang has never showed himself, hidden very well. But if we had Bernardo here, locating a Syracusan in Syracuse would be like going through a pile of hay for an animal. Simple. If I don't interfere and help them out, God knows how long they're going to drag this round for.
Zaro, it's rare to see so many words spill out from your mouth. You're upsetting the table and relishing it.
Like you are.
Isato, stop worrying about winning or losing. Learn to do it for the love of the game, and derive even more enjoyment from it. That's what games are really for. I like how she's just like, my dude. Just play for funnies. Don't play competitively. How do you wolves fail to even understand this? Nova Volsini nights are dark. Woman and wolf stand atop a building, sandwiched by the night sky above the noisy city below. Pre-Carnivale activities happen in all sorts of shades and forms. Vehicles speed through the streets, pedestrians shuttle to and fro. They enjoy a panoramic view of everything happening below.
They cover their fangs with masks and use this festival to divulge their thirst to have it all. How sad. On the contrary, you seem to be enjoying this farce. When did you become so interested in such boring activities?
Zito, Zaro, you're noisier than the people who used to hang around me before. I'm just enjoying the breeze. We practically have a VIP seat here, so keep quiet and wait for the show to begin. The actors are ready on stage.
You're late, Leon. I'm sorry, it's been a really busy day. Still working on your inaugural speech? Well, that too. We're planning a birthday party for the whole city. It's not quite the same thing as planning a party at home, is it? You remember? Of course I do. Do you think I was going to forget how you brought ginger ale instead of beer for the banquet, and pocketed the difference to buy a car? Well, I guess that did happen. You sound distracted, Dimitri. Do I? It's nothing. I guess it's been too long since we last saw each other. Take care on your way, Leon. Haha. Might have taken that as a threat if we weren't in Nova Volsini. Enough joking and hurry up. I'm waiting at the seat by the window.
The car drives by, and the apprentice Taylor jogging on the street and heads to the end of the main street. Oh, the unfortunate accident.
I should pick up the pace. I can't miss the delivery window to hand over the clothes to Signor Alberto. The Donna Familia Saluzzo. What kind of man is he?
Lucino grasps for breath, with the suit in his arms as he runs through the deserted alley, illuminated by only by the light coming from the cafe. Whee!
That's the fifth slice of pizza and third glass of juice that you've just gobbled. Are you that hungry? Shut up and drink this espresso.
I want an espresso. I want pizza.
Yuck, it's so damn sour. You gonna lend me your head if we screw up the mission because the sewage gave me diarrhea? Suck it up. I just picked it off the shelf. Nobody uses this frontage road anyway. Besides, it's just hauling a bunch of tires. What could go wrong? No need to get all worked up over a boring job like this. I'm tired of hearing you whine for the past 2 months, Gambino. Haven't you figured out our new boss yet? Trying too hard to show off will only have the opposite effect. Fresh me like us, we gotta be patient and wait for our chance. Well, ain't you the model employee, Capone? I thought you would at least show a little bit of, I don't know, shame. There's hardly any place for the Sicilian in Syracuse these days. I'm not Sicilian anymore. It's your shame, not mine. I just want to get my Nuovo Volsini citizenship sooner rather than later. All the work I put in over the past 6 months, all the guarantee money I paid, and I'm only halfway to the required points. Halfway? You got 50 more points than I do. How you been doing? Gasp! Community service while I wasn't looking. Shut your crap, Gambino. We're in our last chance and you know it. Keep your eyes sharp on the street. It should be coming any time now. You got any pizza left? Give me one. Kazo, it's cold. How do you even manage to eat this?
As the two grumble to the other, a dark shadow quietly slips through the alley. Munch, munch. Ah, yeah, how was Carnivale? It's like, I got kidnapped, family drama, life throwing bricks to an unfortunate girl. Sniff.
This is the smell. True wolf.
A truck drives past Ride and attracts her attention. I mean, a truck drives past red and attracts her attention.
Are you hiding inside? Sniff. No. Over there.
She looks toward the opposite end of the street.
Grandma, I'm a wolf hunter, I remember. The girls? Vargo, I hope you left me accurate instructions how to identify them. It'll be a headache if I hurt the wrong people.
With blade in hand, the Vopo leans on the wall, hidden within its shadow, waiting in silence for the prime opportunity to strike. She will eliminate the 2 targets who threaten Umberto's life in one go, and then demand her reward from the wolf.
Tisk, a kid loitering around the streets outside this late.
That figure. Was I just seeing things?
Ludmilla. Why did you space out so suddenly?
It's nothing. Just a little tired.
You better get off and wait at the intersection coming up. We're about to arrive, and there'll be trouble with the Venetias. If I show up with a rando in tow. Ludmilla.
Enough. I got on your truck, so I'll stick with you all the way.
Thanks, Ludmilla. No matter what happens, I'm lucky to have you with me.
You've been listening to this song on loop for a while now. Not tired of it?
Of course! A Chance Encounter is an amazing song and Sora's got one hell of a singing voice. It's the hottest new single this week. There was an interview saying she recorded it just for Carnivale.
Summer hums to the song, looping from the speakers. Soon, the truck will reach the turning point ahead and bump into the other car. Carnivale's curtains are slowly pulled open. In just one city block, we have our young and promising acting mayor, Fangs, people coming home for the festivities, and Sicilians too. I don't even know who they're seeking protection from. What a crowd.
I could make it even noisier.
Just wait, Zaro. You don't have to do anything. Zaro, just let him cook. Pretend you're a cab driver who turns on the radio at the right time to tune into a story. The games humanity plays are much more interesting than your kind's preference to select just a few people to fight each other.
Caesar's pup has discovered Agnes's cub.
Look, isn't there another car coming from the port? Bang! The truck crashes into the car and flees in a panic. Eye-watering flames, hysterical crowds. Those who share the same stage obviously perform the same play.
Just a chaotic show. I don't see what's so fun about this, Lapland.
What's the rush? Before the play truly begins, allow me to perform my duty as an upstanding citizen of the city. Pronto. Buonasera. Is this the police? Me? Just a driver for hire. I'd like to make a report. See, the Port District. That's right. An accident just happened. What a good citizen. Oh my goodness. Look at her reporting the incident. First thing. It's so funny how Zaro's so confused by all this. He's just like, is this really what you find as entertainment, Lapland? It's like, yes, that is entertainment. Zaro. Silly Zaro. And oh gosh, it's more of these. Ooh, snack carts. Yummy, yummy. Exactly, it's like, what's the rush, Zaro? You're already out of the game. You're just being impatient. You're just being a sore loser, Zaro. You know, facing up's fine. Wee! Okay, yeah, this is fine so far. Actually, nah. Yeah, I'll do it. Just fun. I can always redo the stage. Uh-oh. Oh, it's gonna go through. It's okay at this point. I'm gonna redo it anyways. Oh, look at the popcorn guy. Oh, he's so cute. Look at him. Oh, I want popcorn. Aw. Honestly, it depends on what part of Ludmilla's story, because she did make friends with the truck driver, so good for her. Like, that part's cute at least. Everything else, oof. Let's see. Actually, I can do that. I'm gonna be patient. Delicious popcorn. Yummy, yummy popcorn truck, dude. So tasty. And last is the truck. Hey, this is fine. Goodbye, truck. Okay, I guess we're over here now. Buongiorno, dear residents. After several months of preparation, Carnivale will be held as scheduled on the evening of November 9th, where hundreds of thousands of citizens will be on the street celebrating the one-year anniversary of Nuovo Volsini. Her skill 3 is fun. Very, very fun. According to the Carnivale Organizing Committee, all the beast floats have been assembled at the port, and we moved to the expansion plate today in preparation for the night parade. The street theater competition is also concluded. The most popular team will gain the privilege of illuminating the floats on behalf of every citizen here on Carnivale night. Other shortlisted plays will also be performed on both sides of the parade path along the floats. The committee hopes that everyone will cooperate and maintain the floats' mystery before their forms are unveiled on Carnivale night. Please rein your curiosity and do not sneak a look, photograph, or spread any float-related information. In other news, on November 5th, a traffic accident occurred on Quinta Strada in the Port District late at night, with one injury reported. The vehicle responsible escaped after crashing. The police quickly got the scene under control and restored order in the area. The incident did not have any serious consequences, so there's no need for our dear citizens to worry. Presently, the police have established a special task force to investigate and identify the vehicle responsible, and the case should be closed within the next few days. Citizens who discover any relevant clues should contact the police as soon as possible. Texas, you're back. Just a brief visit. I'll go back to court later. How's Leon? The doctor came in here 3 times, only for routine checkups though. At least his condition isn't getting worse, I suppose. I'm guessing you had trouble dealing with that case yesterday? The case was closed, in a way I didn't want, with a way I was powerless to stop. Texas, I don't recall you having a habit of tuning into the afternoon news. The situation isn't as optimistic as the news make it out to be, right? We found some clues and locked onto some suspects, but we haven't made any other progress. Who called the police that night? The info we got was all fake, hard to investigate. Maybe I could help. I know quite a few people in the city. Those from the Familia. Grazie, Texas. I know you've been keeping an eye on the whole thing. Your mere presence in Volsini was enough to strike a nerve in every influence in the city. Some were angry, while others got a wake-up call, and we managed to turn things around. But a year has passed, and we're in Nuevo Volsini now. In a new city without the familiar, the last Texas can't really do much. In other words, the last Texas shouldn't be allowed to do much here. Yes. Senorita Texas, there's a phone call at the reception for you. Me? Who is this? Haha, need a ride, Texas? I won't wait too long. Oh yeah, that comic with all the education. Man, I was kind of hoping for a cooking portion. With, maybe Hibiscus teaching her how to cook something yummy. AKA cursed... or, delicious food. Totally delicious food. The sun was so strong the last 2 days. Was it the sudden heavy downpour? You wouldn't be carrying an umbrella if you're really surprised. Here, over here. On the hood of the cab, and under a huge black umbrella, the driver casually placed the car keys in her hand. You got here quickly. To Quanto Tempo, Texas. The driver slowly lifts her umbrella, revealing a sharp crescent and an unrestrained smile. She then nonchalantly tosses the umbrella aside and salutes a greeting to Texas. Lapland. The weather got me thinking about our old home. The nights and the rain in Volsini. Yeah, the weather here has always been great until today. But you seem to have saw this rain coming, Texas. I just prepared for the worst. We're still in Syracuse after all. Having just one rainy day after so many days of fine weather is still pretty rare. What exactly happened with that accident? You mean the one with the balloon wolf pup? Surely, you're not suspecting that I did it with my car right here? I wouldn't be surprised if it was you. You wouldn't be here right now if you had nothing to do with it. I do know a few things. Willing to have a ride with me? Humph, why not? I wouldn't be standing here otherwise. I thought you'd be nice and shade me from the rain with your umbrella. You seem like you're enjoying the rain. Didn't want to spoil your fun. That's the Texas I know. Are you just going to sit in your car like that? In such a big rain with no spectators? Not tired? Oh? Haven't you been watching me the whole time? Get in the car, Texas. Our destination is quite far away, so it'll be quite a long drive. Right. I prepared a gift for you in the passenger seat. I saw the snacks. I don't have the appetite right now. It's alright. It's not mille foglie this time. I've long changed my tastes. Though I know you're still obsessed with those old habits of yours. I like how she got snacks for the road. Texas? Back so soon? Hi, yeah, Texas.
It's me.
Dimitri? You shouldn't have clearance to come in here.
There's always a way. You can't prevent me from seeing Leon forever. I brought some flowers. Is there a vase in here that might fit? We used to have roses like this at the Boulogne residence, remember? Don't look at me like that, Lavinia. The police have thoroughly investigated my travel and itinerary and your orders for the past 2 days, every single detail.
Hey, hello.
But they found no clues linking me to that accident.
I'm not so stupid as to think you'd commit a crime yourself. My City Hall colleagues told me how they recently received an entity ownership change application from Saluzzo Vino. Why are you collaborating with Alberto, Dimitri?
Since the city, or should I say you, have been so unwelcome, I had to figure out my own ways to stay here. Doesn't it comply with the city rules?
Perfectly.
Then, Wouldn't it be better if I stayed within your sights? You've already deployed enough officers here to watch every step I take, any contact I make, every order I give. I should be allowed to visit. I was the one nursing Leon back to health whenever he was sick. The Ballones won't give up trying to enter the city, Lavinia. But in any case, there's no need or reason for me to hurt Leon. I'll accept your flowers in his place. But I'm sorry, as an official of law, I will not permit a potential suspect to meet the victim in private. Leon's safety is closely tied to the city's. No one can say where the chaos will come from next. This is what you wanted me to see? I see the rain earlier wasn't heavy enough.
Fire. The speeding cab suddenly brakes when it nears a fire, leaving clear skid marks on the still wet ground. Would you believe me if I said I brought you here to extinguish the fire? The monstrous wolf breathes flames and thick smoke into the air. The giant beast-shaped float burns, the bright firelight standing out against the dull, dark sky.
Lapland, how much do you know about this? Suspecting me? No. You'd have chosen a more classical and conspicuous method. You'd be standing in the fire right now, at least, not next to me.
Haha, you know me so well. Too bad the workers and police are pretty quick to act. I think the fire will be put out quite soon. They should be thanking that burst of heavy rain earlier. Otherwise, the fire might have already burned down Novovosini Port to cinders.
No matter how big the fire is, it doesn't change the fact that it's here in the city. Leontuso and the others wanted to give the new city a brand new festival to help build a collective identity. A car accident that left the mayor in critical condition, and a giant blaze breaking out at the logistics port just before Carnivale. That's enough to keep the civilians up awake at night. Doesn't it feel like some kind of omen, a proclamation, or even a provocation? How much do you actually know, Lapland? What's your objective?
Tisk tisk, you sound anxious. Why? Wasn't Novovosini the proving grounds Signora Cecilia promised to the youths? An experiment is bound to produce mixed results. As the first witness on the scene, I can tell you for certain that Balone Pup's car crash was purely an accident. You've been watching over him at the hospital, and his condition is already stabilized, right? So what's causing your anxiety? I look forward to your answer, Texas. At Carnivale.
No matter what you're planning, I'll be keeping an eye on you for Lavinia.
Then sit tight. I have no interest in wasting my time with those officers. Oh my goodness, spending Carnivale together. How sweet.
How can that be? The parade float got lit up on fire along with the goods.
Yoink.
Ugh.
Calm down, it's me. The police are on their way here, so stay out of their sight.
Ludmilla? Where'd you go the night before yesterday? No, wait, why are you here?
I have more questions for you, Sommer. Where did you go after the accident?
I went to find Irene. She knocked me out cold and then locked me inside the warehouse. Well, a lot happened. And it was a hell of an escape.
Come with me. Everyone's attention is focused on the float now. My smoke will cover our tracks and no one will spot us.
Why is there a burn spot on your jacket? The fire. What was your...
My doing. The police would have discovered the truck and its contents if I hadn't done it there and then. It was the only way. Enough. We'll talk when we're safe. Those officers...
Wait, Lumilla. Someone just went by over there. Irene? Who's the guy next to her? Irene Lavazza and Alberto Saluzzo. Could you both please kindly explain what brings you here just 200 meters away from the fire? I don't see a need to explain myself. If you want my answer, have the judge bring the evidence and arrest warrant to me first. I'll be waiting. We'll get to it, Signor Saluzzo. It's true we don't have any evidence to pin you as a culprit, but this doesn't mean you're completely unrelated to the case. As for you, Signorina Irene Lavazza, the float burned nearly to nothing, but we managed to collect some fragments. We'll send them for analysis later, but we're basically certain that the vehicle used for the float was a truck from your group. As the head of the truckers union, you'll have to come with us for our investigation.
Senor Saluzzo.
Signorina Lavazza, our previous agreement still stands. I believe you have no link to the matter, but do be careful about what you say once you leave this place. Otherwise, even I won't be able to help you.
That is a good question. Having a close relationship with someone like Lapland. And now, November 8, 10 a.m. Don't you find this place familiar, Texas? But this time, the one standing in the defendant's dock is neither you or me. What a shame. Even if we take the judge's word that this case is suspected of endangering the city's public safety, there's no reason to let all these people in here. Ah, look at these familiar faces. A trial for a truck driver, and the audience gallery seats are filled with made men from two familiae with conflicting interests. I'm liking Nuovo Volsini more and more, Texas. But I have to say, this trial was put together more quickly than I thought.
Probably a special procedure. Carnivale is tomorrow, so it's understandable they'd want to settle this case ASAP. Do you know this Irene woman?
You don't have to probe me, Texas. I only met this poor little driver once, but I can guess how she ended up here.
You mean she's innocent?
I didn't say that. Isn't this scene a regular occurrence in the swamp of Syracuse? It swallows everyone up eventually. Not everyone can escape like you did. Either you get killed and silenced, or you hide within the mud and drag out a meaningless existence. Texas, do you believe that Nuovo Volsini offers a third way of life? Silence. In accordance with the new Urban Management Act, the Nuovo Volsini Criminal Court will commence with the Nuovo Volsini Port Arson Public Prosecution Case number 00278. Court is in session. Defendant, please state your identity for the record. Irene Lavazza, born in Sicilia, currently a member of the Truckers Union and living in the trucker camp on Viale Alito, Zona Torino. What do they mean? Our testimony would be invalid in court. Does it mean we can only sit here and wait for the results of her trial?
I wanted to go even more than you did, Ludmilla. After all, it's because of me that Irene... But you heard about what happened at the police station, right? She didn't say anything, so we can't barge in there ourselves. She believes in the government and the courts, and thinks she can prove her innocence.
Do you believe that'll happen?
I believe in her.
Wait for me here, Summer. I'll call the other guys to go with us. We should be standing by her side right now, no matter what. Summer slumps over on the ground, cradling his head, watching Ludmilla leave. If he hadn't helped the Venetias transport their goods without telling Irene, if that car accident hadn't happened, if he hadn't asked Irene for help, if he had managed to break free from his chains earlier and make it to the port in time, he's the reason why this incident happened. But now the one standing in court awaiting the trial is his best friend and his daughter. He gropes around in a pocket for a business card. He doesn't know who stuck it in the gaps of his camper van door. The card only has an address on it. Terza Zona Porto.
Irene, I know you'll outsmart me in most cases, but this time, I know I can help you out for sure.
He stands up and leaves the campground alone. Oh no, who's he gonna meet up with? Irene Lavazza. Identity matches registered information. The blaze at Zona Porto yesterday caused serious property damage, put the lives of dozens of workers at the port at risk, and gravely threatened the public safety of Nuovo Volsini. Carnivale is just around the corner, and this incident will immeasurably affect public opinion. The court has examined the evidence submitted by the police and found that the Great Wolf Parade float, the source of the fire, has obvious traces of arson. The vehicle was from the truckers' union. The police reviewed the truckers' shift schedules and found out it was not deployed at the time and should not have been in Porto Novo Volsini. You, head of the truckers' union, also just happened to be at the scene of the crime. Signorina Lavazza, you are a prime suspect. You have every right to defend yourself. Ooh, an interesting thought. Your Honor, I'm happy to tell you everything I know. Irene calmly explains how yesterday's fire had no links to anyone from the truckers' union, but the judge's expression becomes even gloomier. The judge can't help her, even if he wants to. Of course, as long as the real culprit doesn't show up, her attempt to defend herself will be for naught. Huh? Whoa, the poor lady. Don't you want to help her out, Texas? You could stand up and vouch for her, etc. The court might be lenient on her if it's you. I know what you're thinking, Lapland. Nuovo Volsini's laws absolutely cannot be trampled upon or scorned like that. They strove to make these rules a reality. Then I fear you can only sit back and watch everything unfold, or... Lapland sends Texas a provocative look, eager to try something. I could care less for your boring rules. Want me to help you out? Ahem. Please hold on. The court has just received a supplementary list of new witnesses who would like to provide testimony. Alberto Saluzzo?
What's wrong, Your Honor? As a legal citizen who has completed his identity registration in total compliance with the new Urban Management Act, surely my testimony will be valid in court.
Of course. Please proceed to state your testimony for the record. Signor Saluzzo, are you intending to provide evidence to the court to prove that Irene was indeed related to the fire? Alberto does not answer. His gaze falls on the opposite side of the witness box. Venetia Jr. and the other Venetias are sitting on the left side of the audience. Alberto's eyes turn to the seat behind Venetia Jr. There sits his own daughter, the banished Saluzzo. Oh man, it's like, hey daughter. She crosses her legs, grins, and waves to him as if no one else is in the room. Next to her is Texas. Ciao. Texas, my dear father's watching us. Stop being so reserved and wave along. Signor Saluzzo? Please continue with your testimony.
Humph. I was there as well, and I can attest that Signorina Lavazza did not start the fire. Terza Zona should be here.
Sommer?
The boss made us wait here for you. Come, he wants to see you. Are you from the Venetias, or the Saluzzos, or the Medicis? Shh. This'll help Irene, right? Right up ahead. The container is in that corner. Just open the door and go in. Alright.
This seems sus, Sommer. Irene, I'm sorry for not telling you, but I already made arrangements for Guri. You know how I kept asking for more shifts and save quite a bit of cash? It should at least be enough to pay for 2 years of her empathy treatment and her school fees. The school isn't too far from our camp, so it'll be easier to look after her this way too. I did take you in at the start, but compared with all that help you've given us all these years, it's hard to say who's helped the other more. Irene. It's not fair they've got a spotlight on you now. Oi! It's how you think about yourself too, haha. I want to say I've never been much of an idealist. After all, I've seen enough in this life. I know very well what I can do or can't. I'm just a tiny supermarket owner and a driver who hopes we can all live a peaceful life. This is also why I was willing to follow you here. The shop's no more, but we can always move to a new place and figure out a new way of life. There's no need to waste our time on those guys who ruin our lives. Everyone gets their share of bad luck, so there's no need to blame anyone. We just have to stay away from the troubles. Fortunately, you helped us all find a good spot. I bet Guri would like it here. Two ways of life in the swamp of Syracuse. Do you float like the familiar? Hmm. Like, oh, Alberto did not make you drown. And there are those who are sick of it, wanting to leave like Texas. Ooh, yeah, for Lapland. She could be walking on water like that. Just yeah, the third way's probably her own way of life. She do what she want. She'll go swimming leisurely for fun. She'll float around other times. Sometimes she'll dry off and do things from the side, and then eventually return and come back to just have some fun. She just brought up the jet skis this time.
I agree. I guarantee you my testimony is absolutely true. As I said earlier, she was with me the whole time from yesterday before noon, until the fire happened at the port. Two Saluso Vino vineyards will soon welcome our first harvest. I hope the Truckers Union will allocate a fleet to help transport our fresh grapes. This is why we were at the port to check things out. My employees can vouch for us as well.
Sounds of agreement.
In other words, Signorina Lavazza has a strong alibi.
Collapse. Magnifico. My astute padre has tied the Truckers Union to the Saluzos. That poor driver will have to do his bidding in the future. I don't think it'll end just like that. The truck came from your union. We checked the shipping schedule and it wasn't slated with any arrangements for the last 2 days. So why did it show up at the port and become one of the floats? Signorina Lavazza, even if you truly did not start the fire, as the head of your union, it is your responsibility to explain the illegal usage of this car. I can testify for Signorina Lavazza on that point. Oh, it be he. Signor Venetia?
Your Honor, please take a look at the customs declaration form and the supplementary evidence you received earlier. The truck was transporting tires for Venetia Trucking.
Hey, hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Ooh, lunch and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Oh, that sounds good. Earlier today there was scuff. For some reason my mic wasn't working. Ugh, that was so bad because it was working last night, so I had to do a bunch of updates and also uninstall the mic and reinstall it, and then eventually started working again. Yay! But oh gosh, that spooked me. I'm like, please don't break. Please don't tell me you're broken for reals. But no, it's good. It's all good now. Haha. Oh, Scuff. Give me Scuff luck.
This is it. Go in. He's waiting.
The shipping container door lies ajar, and all Sommer can see is a faint light flickering inside the dark interior.
So, who in Terra is helping me and Irene? Enough questions. Vecchio. Go in and you'll find out at once. You want to help the driver, and so do we. That's all you need to know.
Sommer puts his hand on the door and hesitates.
Can you guarantee?
There's no one available to answer him. The mafiosi already left, leaving him on his own. Irene, I don't have brains or guts like yours, which is why I was so surprised but also worried when you promised Judge Lavinia and Mayor Liantuzo you'd be the head of the union. It meant you were going to get into tons of trouble, and sure enough we did. But back then you told me what we were starting wasn't actually a union to help City Hall handle the familiar, but an association to provide mutual aid to anyone in a similar situation to us, or as us. You always say I was the one who took you in, but we all know it was you who gave me another chance at life. I'm not saying we're even now. I owe you so much. Irene, if a day comes where I can help you out, I won't hesitate at all. I don't want Guri to think her papa was as an ungrateful person. I tried to be a good role model for her. Ooh. How is the Millennium Puzzle model? Signor Venetia, I'm sure you're clear of what your statement means, right?
Senor Saluzzo claims he submitted testimony out of his responsibility as a citizen, but this incident actually involves Venetia Trucking. The demand for our vehicles here has spiked in the last 2 months because of Carnivale, and we had to order an impromptu shipment of automotive consumables from the other cities. This newly arrived batch of goods has already cleared custom, and the truckers union was helping us do a last-mile delivery. It was an impromptu request, which is why we haven't updated this job onto their schedule. Signorina Lavazza, do correct me if I got anything wrong.
You're right. We do have the paper trail if needed.
As for why that truck was found at the port amongst the parade floats, we don't know who did it yet, so I implore the police to continue the investigation. Though at least, the truckers union did not use their truck illegally, and Signorina Lavazza was merely a bit negligent in this whole affair.
We'll verify the information. Oh, the poor driver's pretty lucky. We're so close to the end of the tunnel. The pivotal testimonies from my father and Venetia Jr. are enough to clear Irina's suspicion. Nothing will happen to her. But the suspect has now become an outsider. Irene's the actual person involved, but she can't even get a word in. The courtroom's turned into an exclusive stage for the Venetias and the Saluzzos. These two factions are clearly fighting under the table, but they seem to have a tacit understanding with once they're in court. Everyone knows that's how the mafia works. They want to claim complete innocence and seize the truckers' union for themselves at the same time. Of course, after all, we haven't found the actual person who started the fire. I hope model clippers are easy to find. Unless they'll never find the person ever again. The familia never consider what the persons involved are willing to offer when they want something in return. I have to contact Lavinia. He takes in 2 deep breaths, pushes the shipping container's door open, and goes in.
Nobody's here.
Inside is a solo lamp and a chair with no one else. Sommer is stunned. He decides to wait as long as he can to help Irene this way. He's willing to wait. Irene, I like this new city. I hope Guri likes it too. At the very least, I prepared a better environment for her here. Grazie, Irene. Look, I better get going. I've never gotten a late delivery on my record. He'll be fine. Totally fine. Here's Azona. He should be here. Yeah, he'll be fine, right? But yet, how am I supposed to find him in such a huge place? Ludmilla anxiously pops in and out of alleys created by the containers, trying to locate any trace of Sommer, until she hears voices nearby.
So, where are you going on vacation after Carnivale? Vulcini. The old school musical theaters are all there. I'm planning to go to the more sophisticated establishments. I'd rather go to Tourney. I hear the clubs have male apparel striptease dancers from Bolivar.
Oh my! Male apparel striptease dancers, specifically from Bolivar? Wow. Okay, Tourney.
Tisk, you better tuck your tail in if you do, Saluzzo. Ha! Want me to recommend you some ticket vendors in Vulcini? You're a pretty good guy, and get work done quick. If you can't get along with the Venetias, come find me and I'll introduce you to some guys. I'll pass. Wanna smoke? Heh. This lighter's pretty easy to use.
Ludmilla sees the two yapping openly, but she could not care any less what they are talking about. Her sole target is the golden lighter one of them is playing with in his hand. She recognizes that lighter and knows the two are not its owners. It belongs to a driver who doesn't smoke. What Ludmilla doesn't know is that it originally belonged to a familiar associate. After a roller coaster ride, it ends up back in the hands of the mob once more. I'm curious too about Bolivar. Especially if they have some awesome striptease dancers. Oh, that's gonna stick. And now for PV8, Selfless Law. And honestly, depending how long this one is, this might be the last one for the night. I can start an hour earlier tomorrow, just in case. And since the Scuff was defeated today, that means it won't be there tomorrow. I hope. November 8th, 2:17 p.m. Texas, you're back. With me? What? Am I not welcome here? Lapland? They both are pretty icky. Let's not overreact here. What if we disturb the patient's beauty rest? Text us quick. Tell our dear judge here I'm just here to deliver some documents. Nods. Here, Your Honor. We met a judge at the door who wanted to pass you this. The mayor's ward can't have too many people in here, so Texas and I took it for you, right before we walked in. Arson of Novosini Port. Emergency court hearing. Defendant. Irene? The driver lady's your friend, right? Relax, just flip to the back. She was acquitted on the spot. Texas and I happened to sit in that court hearing. So exciting! The Venetias. Sorry. I meant the Venetia Trucking and Saluzzo Vino bosses both testified and vouched for her innocence, and even fought over who got to send her home after the trial. Tisk, a popular girl to be sure. The way she walked out of the courthouse reminded me of how the Familia would take a courthouse trip as proof of maturity. November 8th, 11:35 a.m. Signed to confirm, receive the verdict, leave the court. The process went smoothly, but Irene is still a little dizzy. The sunlight stings her eyes, and she lowers her head. On the huge court square are two cars parked on her inevitable path. Both car hoods sport a special emblem, patterns one can see everywhere in Syracuse. Even if she didn't recognize the Saluzzo Vino logo or the Venetia family crest, there is no way she could possibly fail to recognize the two men before their respective cars. Irene knows they're waiting for her. Familia Saluzzo and Familia Venetia. Oh man. Okay, when it comes to visiting though... Ooh... I would start by visiting Syracuse and then move to Columbia. Cause if I went to Columbia first, I would spend all my money on the tech.
Congratulations, Signorina Lavazza.
There's nothing worth congratulating. Signor Saluzzo, the fire yesterday was an accident, but my worries have indeed been solved, albeit in a confusing way. I've been thinking I shouldn't cause you any further trouble since I ended up asking you to meet with me for nothing. But you showed up today, which means you just declared to everyone.
The Saluzzos want to help the Truckers Union, of course. Our present situation does mean some deals are no longer on the table, but I'm sure we both know how valuable friendship can be in Syracuse. Our agreement remains, Signorina Lavazza. Ahem. Zio Alberto, I hope I'm not disturbing you. Signorina Lavazza helped us transport our tires, and since something like has happened to them, I have to work out compensation with her.
Signor Venetia.
Don't worry. Today we properly met for the first time, but we already have a good understanding between us. You said nothing at all in court, which was wonderful. I think we have a lot to talk about, such as the Truckers Union and many other matters. Get in the car. I'll drive you back. Venetia Jr.
A loud horn interrupts the conversation between the three, and a truck drives between the two cars, coming to a steady stop before Irene. The The driver's door opens and Irene sees Ludmilla get off the truck. Ludmilla? What's wrong? Let's go. I came to take you back home. There's a lot back at camp waiting for you to make the call on. Alright, let's go. Once we're home, we have to quickly figure out a way to send Summer away for a time. He's not safe in the city right now. Something in your mind, Ludmilla? Ludmilla says nothing and hands the lighter she's holding to Irene. Huh? Isn't it Summers? He did everything he could. I should have understood long ago that the familia would never allow anyone who might pose a threat to them to live. Irene looks through the rear view mirror and meets with the two mob bosses' eyes. She suddenly understands why they had confidently testified for her, and why they had both waited for her in the square. Venetia Jr. was right. Her silence and their voices means the three parties had reached a tacit understanding in court. Where's Summer? I'm sorry, I couldn't find him. He might just be sitting. He could just be sitting in the thing, just sitting. He's fine in the crate, right? They didn't find him, so he could just be sitting. Yeah, just sitting and sitting and sitting. Irene's grip tightens on the lighter. So things did exceed everyone's expectations, and they had no choice but to come down here and protect me. But the price paid. They want the guys to the city hall and the courts to know that the truckers' union and the familiae are in the same boat. Those two earlier, they're basically fighting over territory. The court hearing does not mean the matter has come to a close. It is only just beginning. For a long time to come, the familia will become the thorn in the truckers' union side, and she will have to struggle against these people to maintain their tacit, disgraceful understanding. The truck gets farther and farther away from the court square. She looks at the lighter in her hand, and her fear suddenly dissipates somewhat. Ah, yes, no fear, no pain. It's not over yet, Alberto, Antonio. When Summer and I just moved here from Volsini, we really thought we left the familiae. Heh, what a joke. I'm sorry, Summer. I'll never trust any of them ever again. I hope they find Summer. He's just sitting still. He's just twiddling his thumbs. Just chilling. Such an interesting scene. Like it came straight out of a film. Saluzzo and Venetia, fellas. Truck drivers. So many people surrounding that driver lady. They took up half the courthouse square. They called it my coming-of-age ceremony. The first time I went to a courthouse. When I came out, there weren't many people greeting me. Texas had it even worse. She came to Syracuse as a guest and accidentally got herself involved in a lawsuit. I was the only one who greeted her after. Stop bringing up your boring pranks, Lapland. Signorina Lapland, thank you for coming here and for the reminder. If there's nothing else, please leave the ward. You're welcome. Just the least I could do. Carnivale's tomorrow, dear judge. You still have a lot to do. Yay for Carnivale! I was with Lapland the whole time since yesterday noon. By the time we reached the port, the fire was already dying. She's not directly involved with it. She spent the entire night after that just being a taxi driver. We went to the courthouse today, and then came here to the hospital. Right now, I'm not sure what she's planning. Are you still looking through the file, Lavinia? Judging from its contents, there was no problem whatsoever with the hearing, but the feeling I'm getting is all too familiar for my liking. They covered everything in the trial, and the testimony and the evidence are stated in detail. But other than getting someone acquitted, it didn't find out any truth or solve any problems. In Volsini, and other places in Syracuse, most cases can only end up with a case file like this one. I thought such a trial would no longer exist here in Noble Volsini. Lavinia. You don't have to console me, Texas. What concerns me more is when did these people actually start to care about whether a civilian outside the familia is innocent or not? What's more, before this hearing, Familia Venetia had a near-perfect record in the city. You couldn't easily find a reason for criticism. But this time, Venetia Jr. actually showed up. From Dimitri to Ingrid, I may I may spend the last 2 days chasing the wrong direction. What is certain, before this trial, or because of this trial, they are now on the same side. Leon's car accident, and the hit-and-run vehicle, and the port fire. These three obviously have a deeper connection. The Saluzos, the Venetias, and the Truckers' Union. What are these three forces hiding from us together? Lavinia closes the file, running her hand over the court emblem. Then the new Urban Management Act on the cover. After a moment, she raises her head. Texas looks at her friend. She seemed somewhat gloomy and confused earlier, but she's definitely back to her old self now. Carnivale's tomorrow, but Leon is still in a coma. I'm running out of time to figure out what kind of plans they have in store. We can't let the situation worsen, let alone stay sitting fouls. You mean? These people still think of the new Urban Management Act as something they can use, but I shall show them it is the foundation of order in the city. You go, Lavinia. November 8th, 4:45 p.m. Yeah, that's the connection, alright. Ha ha ha.
Hey you can't go in there. Texas? Bursting into my winery without a reason does not seem like something you would do.
Of course.
Told you we confine you, Signor Alberto Saluzzo. These are the Saluzzo Vino's qualification documents submitted in the past months. A group of employees have in the short span of 2 months changed their positions in your company's registered profile several times. First they were security personnel, then winemakers, then technical staff. We have reason to suspect Saluzzo Vino is employing illegal methods to circumvent the standard background check procedure. Please come with us to assist our investigation. Didn't the constant changes happen because the City Hall keeps changing the requirements? What's the big idea, digging out these old files so suddenly? Don't waste your breath. These cops are obviously targeting us Saluzzos on purpose. Vaffanculo, we've been paid so much in certification fees. Anyway, don't let them take away the dawn on our turf. Stop. Don't get in the police's way. If they're only suspecting Saluzzo Vino circumventing background checks illegally, then it won't be difficult to resolve. We just need some time. Listen to him. Got it. Don Alberto. This must have been the judge's idea. What? Of course, she's aware she can't do much with such a trivial offense, but she can at least keep me in jail for the next few days. She must have gone to Venetia Jr. or Irene. Otherwise, you wouldn't be the one standing here right now.
I just happen to be free today.
Making such a swift decision with only just the little information she has. Decisive. I still remember her looking so weak when she rushed to my place looking for Bernardo last year. She was a completely different person.
Telling me all this won't help. There's nothing to fear if you're truly innocent. Truly, no fear. Okay, maybe a little bit at night for the festivities. If there's plays going on.
Of course, I'll go with you. I'll do my best to aid your investigation. I said in court today I'm simply doing my duty as a citizen of the city. Besides, Saluzzo Vino would not pause operations because of my temporary departure. Dimitri, I'm sure you must be familiar with our work here in Novovosini by now, yes? Certainly, Don Alberto. Take care of my wineries for now. Manager Saluzzo Vino. Of course.
And now we fight. I'm excited to see what our girl's cooking. Lavinia, what you cooking now? And oh gosh, there's a lot of dudes. Oh no, they're just gonna run around menacingly. I don't like them. Ew. Sirs, please don't do that. I don't appreciate that. Ew. Okay, and now to start bonking him more. Get out of here. How freaking dare you? So you don't do that here, that's illegal. Speaking of illegal, Car. How freaking dare you, car? You're also illegal. Oh, wait, can you just like not? You. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh man, the chaos. I mean, oh, this is fine. This is totally fine. Fine enough, anyways. I just realized it's carrying beer. Cute little beer truck. Adorable. Come out, enemies. Come out wherever you are. I want to bonk you, please. Oh, that would be hilarious. Alberto would just be twiddling his thumbs the entire time. Or heck, I wonder how he'd fare in that one prison. You know, the prison event with mountain guys? Officer Saria, hey girl. I bet he hated there. Rather than tired, I'm hungry. November 8th, 6:15 p.m. Debating if I want to make instant noodles.
You sent for me, Don Venetia. Anton has a question for you. Over here, Carl. Antonio. Any cars headed towards Sicily recently? Passenger routes are operating as usual, though most people are coming in here and not out. Good. Go pack up your belongings. You should be able to make the last ride over. Gotcha. Huh? Antonio, what's the meaning of this? Don't you have Fratello in Sicilia? You can't stay in Nuovo Vocini any longer, and can't go back to Montelupe either. So you should go to him. Your negligence has caused us to lose a whole carload of tires. I gave you a chance. Just greet the dawn at the port. Couldn't even manage that. Yeah, couldn't even manage that. That old Saluzzo Stronzo even got to meet Papa before you did. Carl, I already gave you the most decent ending possible by letting you leave alive. Take this.
A check from a bank with a huge sum written on it. The familiar associate takes it, stunned. He sees his own name written on the upper left, already crossed out by Antonio himself.
Call it a settlement fee. Without the familiar's protection, you'll need a lot of money. I've been with the Venetians for more than a decade. I was following the Don before you even came in here. Can you just, for his sake... Don Venetia! Employees who make mistakes must naturally be punished, yes? Of course. You're the head of the Venetia Trucking. You call the shots. Anton, you didn't inform me about this in advance. Please, don't blame me for this. The police were just here earlier. They wanted to inspect the vehicle factories and service stations under the Venetia's name. They said it was just a routine inspection before Carnivale, but the official warrant said it was an impromptu check. I also just received news that Alberto was suddenly temporarily detained for corporate qualification issues. I have no doubt the trial this morning has upset our dear Judge Lavinia. She's hoping to control the situation. She knows nothing of this way. The situation spiraled out of my control, so I had to deal with Carl like that. It'll be hard to convince the masses otherwise. This year, Venetia Trucking has carefully complied with the new Urban Management Act, and the only clue we had proving otherwise was burned to cinders yesterday at the port. The only person who can affect our business has been dealt with. But when Carnivale's over and Lavinia has her hands free, I'm afraid she'll try her best to target us. How do you plan on handling it? My original idea was to slowly transform the city. But it has a set of laws absent in other cities, while establishing an underground order the Syracusans are accustomed to. Venetia Trucking's business has been smooth sailing. The trick is to follow these two tenets. Comply with the new Urban Management Act, but also not. Of course, the other familia are doing the same, but adapting to the rules of the new game is quite difficult. The Venetians can fit perfectly into both sets of laws, and we've been excelling at it. So much so that today we can discard one and switch to the other immediately. So you want to completely control the city? You've lost yourself, Anton. Don't forget Nova Vocini has Signora Cecilia's endorsement. She supports the youth's reforms. You're willing to defying her authority and turning us against all of Syracuse this way. You're using the entire familia of Venetia as your betting chip. It sounds like that, yes. The last one to do that was Bernardo. He only died last year. Are you afraid of Signora Cecilia? Afraid of the youngsters at City Hall yelling their ideals across the room? You've really gotten old, Papa.
Or Antonio, you could just be a dummy right now. It's like literally, Bernardo tried what you're trying to do, kind of ish, last year. Antonio, last year? Bruh.
We Venetians hold a most unusual seat in the Great Hall. A hybrid familia, loopholes with no blood ties, who left their previous pack, Vopals like Ingrid, and Perils like you. The other familiae don't think too kindly of us, but we stand here today nonetheless. Our presence here embodies every Venetian's sweat and blood.
A clue for Bolivar? True about Beagle in there. So we know that Bolivar is gonna be a terrifying place. And also has amazing male strippers. I wonder if they're also gonna be part of the fighters.
Our ties run closer than bloodlines, and I want everyone in the familia to have a decent end. But you want to put us in great danger, Anton. I think you've forgotten my teachings. Papa, have I ever mentioned how a Pero like me ended up in Syracuse? I was a soldier serving the true Bolivarians. I have but a superficial understanding of the situation in Bolivar. It actually doesn't matter which flag you fight under in Bolivar. You don't have to understand why the three parties are fighting one another. I mean, everyone's just trying to survive by giving it their all. I was in a guerrilla force raiding a village under the Singas dynasty. But we were discovered, and the entire squad became captives. The 20 of us emptied every pocket and piled our possessions together to bribe the executioner to spare us. Change our status from death penalty to hard labor. The officer responsible for driving us was a paunchy aristocrat. He was drunk that day, made a mistake during the review process, and only came to us with a truck, big enough to just sit 10 people. The executioner asked him what to do next. Can you guess how that Stronzo replied? He belched from his drink as he whipped out a pen and drew a circle on our list, saying, "There's clearly only 10 people on the list, right?" We killed him, cut off his head, escaped Bolivar. And what happened next, I'm sure you know. Anton, this is the first time I've heard of... Haha, it's been too long, I almost forgot about it. Do you know why it suddenly came back to me? I was discussing with our young and promising mayor about building a logistical network in the city. He refused me, and then shared how the city came about and its mission. A so-called experimental ground with a new order governing people from the old, vastly different from the Syracusan tradition. He knew people would have trouble adapting. Irreconcilable conflicts would occur, and the system might even swallow groups of people in the process, but it couldn't be helped. There was a potential future. And all that happened because of 4 young people sat in the Great Hall's round table and lobbied for their ideas so passionately. Signora Cecilia allocated them one of Syracuse's 23 cities without hesitation. A move so cavalier, just like the aristocrat. Like that aristocrat who circled half our names away. Papa, the enthusiasm was indeed quite sincere and inspired at the time, but I almost lost control. I wanted to burst into laughter. That boy knows nothing at all. You said I lost myself? No, not at all. What I want to do has always been the same. I hate that aristocrats in your Sicilia. I hate their power to wantonly draw their circles as they please. I want to take it all away from them. Anton. Phew, alright, Papa. I said a bit too much today. I'm not here to let you lecture me on decency or dignity, nor am I here to analyze what's going on in Syracuse. My activities this year alone are not enough to land a seat at the gambling table. Papa, don't we have a landship en route nearby? I like the rights to make an emergency dispatch. This is something only Don Venetia can do. If I refuse, will the men guarding the door deal with me like how you handled Carl? Of course not. You're a truly decent man worthy of a dignified end. You're old, Papa. Haven't you always suggested you retire?
Thanks, thanks, Antonio. This guy. Excuse me. Is Irina here right now? I know, right? Like, for reals, Antonio, you're making it so hard for him to retire. He's like, man, why couldn't Suzu mom say yes? She should have been the one in charge. I wanted her, not you.
Antonio?
Excuse me, is Irina here right now?
Your Honor? Irene's not here. Everyone went to celebrate her acquittal, that's why.
So why aren't you with them?
I'm just servicing these trucks, see? Carnivale tomorrow, and they'll need a lot of our cars. Someone has to do it.
You're lying, senor. When you see her, please let Irene know that I need to meet her, even outside the office hours.
Got it. Irene, here. The schedule table for this year. As you said, I marked all the Venetia trucking-related records, trip times, loading instructions, driver names. They're all in there.
Yep, matches with Summer's notebook. Summer wanted to bring Guri here. Carmelo was secretly nursing his injuries with alcohol and couldn't get it from us. Gianni and Ruggiero had their own troubles too. Every member of ours they targeted was carefully selected. There aren't many records, but the shipment frequency is very consistent. That night wasn't the first time they smuggled weapons into the city for sure. You're right. The judge did come looking for you at the camp after she left. Some familiar associates were telling her in secret. So, I drove behind her car and came back here only after I saw her enter the courthouse. Good. Hello. There's also one more thing. What is it? I happened to see Saluzzo Vino's legal team hurrying into the courthouse. I asked around, and apparently, not long ago, the police suddenly showed up at one of the Saluzzo's wineries and took Alberto away. Venetia Trucking also got the cops at their door at the same time. The police and judges should be inspecting their factories right now. Lavinia probably doesn't know about the weapons yet, but the car accident and port fires has already sent out a dangerous signal. Leontuzo's injured and still hospitalized even now. As Noble Volsini's Supreme Justice, she tries her best to get the situation under control. She didn't use a direct method with us like she did with the other two. She went to camp to warn us. In other words, an ultimatum.
Wait, about what Lumilla just said.
Neither Alberto nor Venetia Jr. will willingly meet their demise. Lavinia's in danger right now. Those wise guys only followed her with no intentions to harm her. We're in Nuovo Volsini after all. We got cops patrolling the streets. Besides, they have an even better time slot available. You mean Carnivale? We could let the judge know. Irene stays still for a long time before shaking her head. Are you still hesitant to let her know about the truckers' union? But can you really just stand here and watch something happen to her? She's not a bad person, at least. You got it wrong, Lumilla. It's too late for us now to stay out of it. If the family dare to make a direct attempt on Lavinia's life during Carnivale, there's no chance to let the truckers' union go. If that happens, we can only wait for the slaughter to happen. I'm just thinking what I should do. I don't want something like that to happen with Summer to happen again. Giving Lavinia direct warning isn't the best choice here. Ludmilla, do you see the weapons? How many were there? Based on the amount I saw and the total number of shifts on schedule, I estimate there's enough Venetia weapons in the city to arm several tactical squads with dozens of people in each. We have more than 200 registered members, but if we include ad hoc, staff, and contracted workers, we'll have several times the number of people. I just realized the Truckers' Union is actually the largest organization in Nuovo Volsini. Maybe we can manage it, protecting a single person in the dark. Do you really just want to protect that judge? Summer taught me the one thing at least. No one can be trusted in the city, but ourselves. So we can only protect ourselves, even if that means resorting to violence. When I was in Ursus, I knew someone with similar ideas. She lost herself in the end. You want to stop me? No, what happened with Summer needs proper ending. But of course, he wouldn't want to see you lose yourself either. Irene, I guarantee you won't cross the final line. I promise you, I won't, Ludmilla. I'm perfectly aware what I'm doing. Like, Irene's not haunted by, you know, creepy snake uncle, so she'll be fine. Totally fine. I love the thought of a bunch of truckers just casually following Lavinia around, making sure she's safe. It's like, oh, Lavinia, she's going out for some pasta and pizza. Okay, make sure she's safe. Let's watch out. What is she ordering exactly? Who's the chef? Who's with her? They're all just gonna go to the restaurant casually that time. That's actually pretty adorable. You wanna see my lappy real quick? Yeah, I just need her module still. Literally just need this. I just need this. Hiya! Hiya! And there, ta-da! But I won't read it afterwards, let's just stare at that. Yeah! See, she's all good, she's prepared, she's a good girl. Pat, pat. Pat, pat, pat. I mean, look at her. So happy. I feel good though. But yeah, next time I'll start like an hour earlier. Do you think that'd be enough? An hour earlier might be enough, right? Assuming there's no technical difficulties. Okay, yeah. Time to be safe and sorry. And fingers crossed, you know, maybe the scuff luck's gonna give me extra luck for... Or all the scuff's gonna give me extra luck for the next banner. And if I do get extra luck, woohoo! That's gonna be wonderful. If not, I cry. Oh man. I wonder how it's all gonna turn out. We're finally gonna see Carnivale! Oh, the craziness though. Honestly, the thing that stood out the most tonight was the talk between the two guys who were with Summer, who were talking about, you know, what they're gonna do afterwards. I'm like, wait, what? Specifically, that one guy being like, I wanna go here because of the strippers. I'm like, whoa, I did not expect that. That's gonna haunt me. Oh gosh. I'm excited to see the craziness later on. But for now, I'm just gonna prep my farming thingy. I love it. Like, how epic are those male strippers that he'd willingly travel for them? Like, yo! I'm excited for that. But you know what? For now, I'm just gonna farm this while I make some instant noodles. So tomorrow will be the end. Tonight is just for instant noodles now. So with that being said, thank you for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day and epic gacha luck. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Yay for no stuff for now. And yay for more farming node. Me needs stuff. Stuff be me. Yes.